So if you've been beating yourself up lately, haven't been feeling so good about yourself, then this video is for you. And on this video, I want to talk about how to really level up and start feeling really good about yourself, about what's going on in your life, and give you some tips from my own experience of some things that I've gone through and how we can start creating this wonderful life. So thanks so much for joining me. My name is Susan Caroline. If you're new here, I like to talk about consciousness, the law of assumption, and all good things like that. So we all go through different times in our life where our feelings ebb and flow, and it can come from hormones, from different things going on about us, but we got to stop looking at our feelings to get our sense of self-worth. Because guys, listen, I know what it's like to wallow around going, oh my gosh, this happened to me, I feel like this, I feel like that. So have you ever gone to bed and you feel amazing when you go to bed, you feel really great, and you wake up the next morning, you're just like, oh my goodness, everything's just so awful. Nothing has happened. Well, when we want to level up in life, I want to encourage you to start being kind to yourself and realize what self are you identifying with, right? Because if we really do have two selves, we have our persona, which I always talk about, which is your human self, right? Like I am Susan Caroline and you are. And then there is your real self, your God self, the animating presence in you, your higher self, the part of you that is connected with what Jesus called the Father. And quick story here, I didn't grow up with a dad that I knew. I grew up with a single parent, and it wasn't until my mum got married much later in life, and I was in my late teens, that I had an amazing, kind stepdad. But growing up, I did not have a good father figure at all. But I think what Christ is trying to tell us here, that the father figure, the presence of God in us, is something that we can always turn to and go inside to and look to for whenever we need comfort. And remember that self, that higher self, that's who we really are. And sometimes when we're going through things in this physical world, we need to be kind to this self, okay, to your persona, and understand that it's growing, it's integrating, it's changing, okay, and it's taking all these new things in. And think about this. Jesus said, if anyone wants to follow me in his way of living life, his way of leveling up in consciousness, right? If anyone wants to follow me, he must what? Deny himself, take up his cross, and follow him. So when you think about this, denying ourselves, what self is that? It's this self, it's our persona. And the cross, what happened on the cross, the whole thing is about death, the symbolism of death. And when we level up in our consciousness and we go through different things in our life, right? Sometimes this part of us goes through all these little deaths. Like I think in the scriptures it says, I die daily. So sometimes when this part of us doesn't feel good, right? Many times it's because of it's dying to a little part of that is dying off, so this new self, who we really are, can start emerging, can start coming forward and start really shining in the world. And the old self is like, no, it's trying to hold on, right? So give yourself some slack and start speaking good things over yourself. Start reminding yourself who you really are, that you are, God is having this experience through you as a human being, and you can tap into that and go to the Father. And when we turn inside to our internal voice, that voice within, that little small voice within, that's where we need to start feeding ourselves. Stop always looking, right? Stop always looking to what this self says about you, because sometimes this self will beat you up and it'll always tell you the things you're not doing right, or you didn't do this right, you're not leveling up this, you got to improve here, you got to do that, you got to do this. It's always accusing. Well, not always accusing, but many times we can allow this voice to accuse us rather than turning within to the presence of God, to the Father, and them saying, you're doing a great job, look how you did this. Now, you tweak this bit, go, you did it great in this area, you did it great in that area. That's right, you got it, girl, you got it. You keep going, right? So when we start feeling maybe discouraged, we need to turn within and listen to that voice rather than this persona, right? And start thinking about all the great things you've done, because whatever you give your attention to, yes, I know it's old. People say, "Oh, that's an old concept," but we need to be reminded there's nothing new under the sun. We need to be reminded of these concepts. Whatever you focus on, it's going to start expanding. It's going to start growing in your consciousness. So if you always start focusing on like, "Oh my goodness, I failed, I messed up. Oh my goodness, I'm never going to manifest whatever," right? The moment you start focusing on that, it's going to start growing. It's going to start mushrooming in your life. So allow yourself, don't beat yourself up, but allow yourself, "Oh, okay, I'm feeling this way, but the truth of the matter is this," and start focusing and building yourself up and saying good things, speaking good things over your life, right? Allowing good things, all the good things that you've done every single day. So a little thing that you might want to try is before you go to sleep at night, sit down or get into bed and snuggle down in the bed, right? And think to yourself, what are some of the good things I did today? What are some of the accomplishments that I did today? "Well, Susan, I can't think of any accomplishments." Did you brush your teeth? Well, yes. Well, great, accomplishment. Did you take the dog for a walk? Yeah. Accomplishment. Whatever it may be, whatever small things. Did you get up? Did you say smile? Did you do anything? Start focusing on all those good things about you. Start focusing on those good things, the things that you want to bring to life, the things that you want to bring to life, right? And when you do that, those things are going to start growing, because many times those of us who want to improve, we can always be looking at the things which are not there yet. We need to start seeing ourselves as that person. I hope this is encouraging you, because I'm speaking to myself here, right? As somebody who wants to improve, many times we will look at the areas where we're not there yet, and we need to start seeing ourselves as there. Start appreciating all those good things about ourselves, and not allowing our feelings to dictate who we really are, because our feelings can change, right? Our feelings can change. They can change through hormones. They can change because we haven't had enough sleep. We can change because maybe our blood sugar's low. We need to recognize that we're not run by our feelings. We're not run by our emotions, but we need to turn within to the Father, to the presence of God, to remind us who we really are, and start giving thanks for all the great things in our life, all the wonderful characteristics that we have in our life. And as you do that, they're going to start growing. They're going to start growing. They're going to start increasing. You know, as we're told that He must increase, the presence of God in us, that must increase. And we must decrease our persona. It's all about shedding, about letting go, and allowing that glorious presence within to start shining out to the world. All right, so I hope this encourages you today. Thanks so much for everybody who's been subscribing to my videos. I really appreciate each one of you. And if you like my vibe, I realize every single channel has a different vibe. So if you're drawn into my vibe, thank you so much. And if you'd like to subscribe, I'd love to have you. Otherwise, hope to see you on another video. And until then, this is Susan Caroline reminding you that the power to transform your life, it's already within you. Have a great day. Bye.